What's up, guys? Shiro Animations back at it again, doing another unboxing review. Well, yeah, boxing slash review, I guess. This time on something I've wanted to get for years. Um, yeah, which is pretty incredible that I was able to get it. If you're not familiar, this is a company. Can't really see it, but it's a company called Threea Toys, and they're known for making vinyl style action figures. Unfortunately, this toy line had, um, I guess, closed down like a couple years ago. So now most of their stuff is like you can only really find on the secondhand market, and it's really, really, really expensive and rare. Um, I think they're around for maybe like 10, close to 10 years. So the company that manufactured these toys are still around. They just changed their name to 3.0 instead of 3A. But all the 3A figures that they used to make were based off a person named Ashley Wood, who is a very well-known. I'm assuming he's a very well-known comic artist. I'm not sure if he makes comics, but these figures were based off his artwork, pretty much. If that makes sense. Um, so without further ado, let's see who I bought. I don't know if I can slide it out. I guess not. Let's see. One interesting thing, I believe you could get these figures I think the store had like like they had an online store where you could buy these and pre-order them. Um, oh, almost there. Oh, snap. Ooh. There's nothing else in the box. Wow. So these are the yellow hornets. 3A, APTYH. I'm not sure what that stands for. That might stand for the yellow hornets, the YTH, but I'm not sure what AP stands for. So there's a side. See, like I said before, these are like vinyl figures. They're not really for play. These are mostly just to pose and display. The yellow hornets, I found a pair of docks and noticed a stained 4-pack. It says, with the news, their support brand three men spiss had canceled on them. TK Unleash donned their classic yellow trackies and supported themselves as the Yellow Hornets. Unfortunately, the Yellow Hornets did not last long. TK Unleash successfully sued them for copyright infringement and were never seen again. So like I said, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to Google it. If there's some type of story that follows like the characters in this toy line. Because this is a description. What I just read is a description of who these characters are, where they came from. Well, for what I know, they're a band. They're some type of a boy band. But there are 6-inch versions of these figures. I got, of course, cheaper. Well, not really cheaper, but when they came out originally, this was the cheaper set, which was a smaller scale version of six-inch figures, which are extremely expensive, close to maybe like $300. This is Popbot, Action Portable. So Action Portable, the Yellow Hornets. So Action Portable was their portable, was basically the 8-inch, 6-inch toy line. So, these figures were in scale, I guess, with like Marvel Legends. Let's see if I can. They're in here pretty securely. Sorry for the shaky camera. Ooh, there we go. Here's the back of them. And they all come with swords. But yeah, here are their swords, which is interesting. Oh, some of their feet have popped off. But here's how they look. And the 1/6 scale versions of these they all had different hairstyles, but I think they all had the same faces. That's one comment I don't like about these guys, and they all have the same heads, basically, just different colors. But yeah, they're pretty interesting. So stay tuned for part 2, and I'll go a little bit more into the other, I guess the 6-inch versions, well, the 1/6 versions, and we'll briefly kind of go over their articulation. So stay tuned. What's up, guys? This is part 2 of my Yellow Hornet toy review. 3A Yellow Hornet Action Portable toy review. So first impressions after taking them out of the box, I really dig them. I just like the tracksuit look that they all have. They're really articulated, just really, just so different and unique, especially if you don't collect these type of figures. So for these to be the first set of 3A figures I own, even though they're like the 6-inch scale figures, they really appeal to me. I just like how they look like a team, and the fact that they're supposed to be a boy band, quote unquote, is pretty interesting and different, I guess, for an action figure, or a group of action figures. So as you can see, I just kind of have them posed, just looking cool. I'm not sure, I don't think I didn't show these off. So all four of them, oh, all four of them individually come with 2 swords and sheaths, which is really cool. So I have not removed all of them yet. But yeah, so they kind of hold them pretty well, kind of snug. So be careful if you do want to get these figures and you want to display them with the swords. Be careful putting the swords in. Just slowly try to put it in. Don't try to jab it in, kind of like what I did, but it doesn't seem like I caused any damage. But yeah, interesting. Let's see, show you this character. I call him Lance. I gave them all names because why not? The swords are plastic, but they look like real blades, which is really cool. And here's the sheath right here. And yeah, the clothing's removable. Another interesting thing about 3A is that their figures are pretty you can mix match parts, which is pretty interesting considering how kind of expensive these are. So if I found other figures in the scale from 3A, I could swap all the heads or hands or feet, which is really interesting. See, all their clothing is removable. They have tank tops, black tank tops under their jackets, which is nice, and the zippers do work. Let's see. Yeah, I can't get it with one hand, but it does open, which is really nice. Um, so I'm gonna go over the cons real quick. So the cons would be, okay, for starters, like I said, there are actually 4 sets of these figures. These are the only 6-inch figures. There are 1/6 scale Yellow Hornets, so they're like really big, with these same outfits, but they have yellow sneakers instead of yellow Dockers, I guess, or track shoes. There's also a red version called the TKOs, and then there's a gray version, which is supposed to be like the evil shadow representation of the band. And all of those three are in the 6 scale. So only the yellow versions got miniature figures made of them, which is interesting. Another thing is the 1/6 figures all have different hairstyles. I think they all have the same faces, but they all have different hairstyles to kind of tell the difference between, to make the members look different. That's one thing I wish they did with these guys, but they kind of utilize this head and this hair sculpt a lot for these shorter, smaller figures. So, it is what it is, I guess. Um, that's one con, but that's more of a personal thing, so I don't think it takes away from the whole set. Um, Secondly, their feet. One thing I've heard about these figures is that their feet pop off very easily. Luckily, with mine, 2 of them don't seem to have that problem, but the other 2, um, 2 of the other figures, like on both of them, 1 foot is like loose, or 1 foot popped off while they were in the box. So these figures were in storage for I don't know how long. These are brand new, so they've never been opened. Um, so that is kind of a bummer, but they all seem to still keep their pose even when you pop the foot back on. So, hopefully over time it won't become a hassle. That's like the only notable error or con I've heard with these figures. Um, but yeah, they're just well articulated, nicely made, nice to look at. They all do kind of look like dolls or mannequins, which can be a little off-putting, but considering that they are supposed to be a boy band, it's not really that noticeable, I guess. So do I recommend these guys? Absolutely, I recommend these guys. Just cool to have. I mean, if you just want something different in your collection, or if you're into vinyl figures, or if you are a 3A collector, these guys are worth having. It's something interesting and different to have in a collection, especially in my collection. I'm trying to get it to focus. Just something different. Um, Here's the back of them, which is nice. So yeah, 360. So yeah, just really cool. I have another vinyl style figure, 3A style figure coming from Asia. So when I get her, yes, it's a her, I will show her off. That figure comes from another interesting series of action figures, but I'll save that for that review. Um, these guys cost me roughly maybe like 180-ish, 185, 183, which is a lot, but like I said, these figures aren't being made anymore, and this set is an old set, so it's kind of understandable. Do I think they're worth that much? Not really. I wish I could have spent a little less. I could have, because there were a few other options, but I went ahead and got this set because it was the easiest to get in a good amount of time. It only took 2-3 days for them to get here. Um, but yeah, I recommend the set if you can find it for a good deal. So yeah, but that's it for this review. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace, you guys.